Hi, my name is Brad Thomas. Welcome to Discovering Your Greatness, the video series companion to my book, The Greatness Revolution. Today I want to talk to you about the vehicle that will help you successfully attach your desire, determination, and discipline to your dream. The vehicle is C.A.R. C.A.R. C is for connection. Poor vision brings headaches. I called him to the front of the room and handed the student a rubber ball. "I want you to throw this ball as hard as you can at the wall," I said. He broke into a devilish grin, turned to the wall, and threw the ball as hard as he could. Immediately, the ball bounced back off the wall, hitting the young man on his forehead right between his eyes. Smack! Rubbing the red welt developing in the middle of his forehead, glaring at me, he whimpered, "Why did you make me do that?" "I didn't make you do that," I said. "You chose to do that." I said, "I want you to throw the ball." What did you think was going to happen? Did you think the ball was going to magically travel through the wall and keep going? Didn't you know the ball would bounce back? Why didn't you throw the ball at an angle? Didn't experience tell you if you threw the ball straight at the wall, it might bounce back and hit you? He had no vision. I imagine literally for a few minutes after this incident, he failed to see. He didn't learn from his past, plan for his future, and live now. He didn't have to throw the ball as hard as he could. He didn't even have to throw the ball. He chose, and he chose poorly. Wisdom is vision, and vision is making connections. We live in a world of disconnect. From an early age, we learn to disconnect things. Even our schools are broken down into subjects. We create frames around each subject. We need frames to help us focus on the subject at hand and pay attention to the details of our specific area of observation. One of my favorite paintings is Monet's series of haystacks. In these paintings, we see haystacks and the shadows cast by the sun. But guess what's missing from the painting? The sun. It's outside the frame. We recognize there is more to the painting than what is just in the frame. And hopefully, we realize there is more to life than what's apparent in our lives. What's inside the frame and what's outside the frame both matter because they're connected. The frame is simply a tool to help us focus. Frames don't really exist. A is for association. There are two aspects to association. The first aspect to association is the stories we associate with events in our lives. We can't control the events in our lives sometimes, but we can control the stories we associate to those events. We write the stories, and if they're not serving us, we must change the stories. We also must associate the proper emotional response to the event. Do you remember in The Lion King when Simba tells Rafiki his past regrets, believing he's responsible for his father's, Mufasa's, death? Rafiki smacks Simba on the head with his staff. Simba has attached a story to Mufasa's death that does not serve him. Just like the student with the rubber ball rubbing his head, Simba yells at Rafiki. Simba says, "What did you do that for?" Rafiki says, "It doesn't matter. It's in the past." Simba says, "Yeah, but it still hurts." And Rafiki responds, "Oh, yes, the past can hurt. But the way I see it, you can either run from it or learn from it." Simba learns from it. He exchanges his story for a story that serves him, and he goes on to be king. The second aspect to association is equally important. Jeff Olson writes, "You are the combined average of the 5 people you associate with most, including the way you walk, talk, act, think, and dress. Your income, your accomplishments, even your values and philosophy will reflect them." Have you ever seen crab fishermen? Anyone who does will tell you while fishing, If they only have one crab in the bucket, they need a lid. If they have two or more, they can leave the lid off. Why? Because if there's only one crab, it will try to climb out of the bucket. But once you have several crabs in the bucket, they will continually pull each other down. And as a result, by the end of the day, you're ready for a crab feast. It's the same way with people. Don't be a crab. And don't hang around people who continually pull you down in the bucket of a life where you eventually will be eaten away. Associate with positive, responsible, reflective, empowered, and empowering people with forward-looking eyes. Dissociate with negative, irresponsible, blaming, entitled, and enabling people with backward-looking eyes. Henry Ford said, "My best friend is the one who brings out the best in me." R is for reflection. Reflection in Western society is scarce, but successful people use reflection to connect desire, determination, and discipline to their dream. Just as we look in the mirror and prepare for our day, those who reflect assess what they need to apply to their lives. Reflection is pausing, listening, learning, and adjusting. When we reflect, we ask, how did my day go? What did I do today that went well and didn't go so well? What served me and what didn't serve me today on my transformational journey? What adjustments can I make to practice the disciplines that will move me toward my dream? What struggles did I have? Was I determined enough? What might I adjust when I face the same struggle tomorrow? Connection, association, and reflection. If you don't practice these consciously, you will practice them subconsciously. The question is, will you take control of the C.A.R., the car, and drive it in the direction of your greatness and your dream? Or will you remain a passenger, letting your subconscious determine the road you travel? Those who walk in their greatness and live their dream daily take the wheel and drive the car, connecting every moment, associating with positive people, and associating the proper emotional response to events along the highway, reflecting on what they've learned, how they will adjust, and then they move on down the road, applying the lessons to the next mile, enjoying the journey as they move nearer their destination. Greatness. Remember, walk in your greatness and have a great day.